such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. Want to encourage you to go to our webpage, for such a time as this.today, for such a time as this.today, not .com, not .org, .today. Go there and you'll always be up to date with our newest material. Okay. Very interesting times. Very interesting times. We have a sitting senator who is calling for the open resistance to government. Let's look at 1 Peter first. 1 Peter 2:13. Be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme, or to governors as sent by him to punish those who do evil. Let's look at that. Who do evil, to punish those who do evil and to praise those who do good. For this is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. Live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover up for evil, but living as servants of God. Honor everyone. Love the brotherhood. Fear God. Honor the emperor. That's not as easy to interpret in 2021. Questions arise. Is the government punishing evil? Or is the government punishing good? Let's hear from Senator Rand Paul.
It's time for us to resist. They can't arrest all of us. They can't keep all of your kids home from school. They can't keep every government building closed, although I've got a long list of ones they might keep closed or might ought to keep closed. We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, and harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats. We can simply say no, not again. Nancy Pelosi, you will not arrest or stop me or anyone on my staff from doing our jobs. We have either had COVID, had the vaccine, or been offered the vaccine. We will make our own health choices. We will not show you a passport. We will not wear a mask. We will not be forced into random screenings and testings so you can continue your drunk with power reign over the Capitol. President Biden, we will not accept your agency's mandates or your reported moves towards a lockdown. No one should follow the CDC's anti-science mask mandate.
Now, that is a sitting U.S. senator who goes after Biden named the Speaker of the House and the President of the United States of America and is encouraging citizens not to obey them. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are in a very, very dangerous time. He has given voice to millions of Americans. Millions of Americans feel as though their government is no longer punishing evil. Matter of fact, they're letting evil out of jail. They're encouraging evil. Many believe, I believe that is true also, that the government is upside down. They're not punishing evil, they're punishing good. And at what point, Christian, do we take 1 Peter, what was that, 4 we just read, in context? At what are the limits? We are told in Revelation that the Antichrist will come, the Antichrist will be the head of government, and that Christ is saying we must resist the government at that point. Remember, don't take his mark. Die if you have to. So it's not a blanket call for Christians to obey governments at all costs, at all points in history. Obviously not. The Christians started off resisting Caesar and resisting when he crossed the line and asked them to participate in evil, idolatry, serving and worshiping the emperor as a god. Christians died before they did that. Polycarp is one of the most famous. So it's not a blanket command to be given and obeyed at all costs. The question is, where are we at in this point in history? And has the government crossed the line towards we can no longer obey? When the government shuts down churches and say churches can no longer worship, if need be, we must go underground and worship and gather as the church. They've crossed the line when they do that, and Christians should disobey. Mandates. Is that crossing the line? Here's Senator Paul again.
Do I sound fed up to you? That's because I am. I'm not a career politician. I practiced medicine for 33 years. I graduated from Duke Medical School. I've worked in emergency rooms. I've studied immunology and virology. And I ultimately chose to become an eye surgeon. I've been telling everyone for a year now that Dr. Fauci and other public health bureaucrats were not following the science, and I've been proven right time and time again. But I'm not the only one who's fed up. I can't go anywhere these days without people coming up and thanking me for standing up for them, whether I'm at work or at events in Kentucky, at airports, in restaurants, or in stores. People thank me for taking a stand. They thank me for standing up for actual science, for standing up for freedom, for standing against mandates, lockdowns, and bureaucratic power grabs. I think the tide is turning as more and more people are willing to stand up. I see stories from across the country of parents standing up to the unions and school boards. I see brave moms standing up and saying, my kids need to go back to school in person. I see members of Congress refusing to comply with petty tyrant Pelosi. We are at a moment of truth and a crossroads. Will we allow these people to use fear and propaganda to do further harm to our society, economy, and children? Or will we stand together and say, absolutely not, not this time, I choose freedom?
We are definitely at a crossroads. Senator Paul is definitely right in that. But Christian, some decisions need to be made. And what is the standard by which you will resist if you're going to resist? 14 are governors sent by him to punish those who do evil, to praise those who do good. We are subject to the governors, the emperor, sent to punish those who do evil, praise those who do good. When it comes to the point where they're doing the opposite, when the government is doing the opposite, punishing the good, rewarding the evil, then what? Then what? I personally believe the Lord is coming back soon. I don't know a date, but the season is here.
For such a time as this,